Welcome to the Chic Show. Today I have my top 6 favorite home decor dupes. Easy and budget friendly. Number 1 is this fabulous vase from Anthropologie for $48. I found this vase very similar to the Anthropologie vase at a thrift store. The only thing missing from this vase is the little spikes on the handles. I used air dry clay to make the little triangle shapes and then glued them to the handles. Once they were all dried and glued on, I used Waverly chalk paint in ink to paint them. I love the way it turned out, and definitely a bargain compared to Anthropologie's price. Project number 2 is a wood pedestal bowl from Joss in Maine for $77. This project, I'm using a wood bowl I found at a thrift store, as well as this wood pencil cup I got from Dollar Tree last year. I'm using Waverly Antique Wax to stain the pencil cup, and then I'm wiping it back with a paper towel. Once the pencil cup is dry, I'm using hot glue to glue the wood bowl on top of the cup. I'm going to add something heavy as well as some pressure to make sure everything adheres correctly. There's a couple of different ways that I styled it in my living room. Project number 3 is a rattan wrapped mango wood chain from Birch Lane for $142. I will make mine for $3. All that's needed for this one is 3 of the wood Dollar Tree snakes and hot glue. I snipped off the snake's head and tail with scissors and then hot glued both ends together. I linked each snake into the other one, and that's all that's needed to complete this project. Bad for $3. Project number 4 is inspired by this organic formed glass bowl from Williams Sonoma for $429. I can definitely do better than that. This glass swirled vase at Dollar Tree. It didn't have the usual Dollar Tree tag, so I'm sure it was a closeout from somewhere. It's really heavy and a really great quality. It reminds me of art glass. I'm using this Deco Color gold paint pen to go around the edge of the vase to mimic what the bowl has. Now I know the inspiration piece is more of a bowl and this is more of a vase, but you get the idea. It's like we're pacing around the obvious. Separate lives, different stories, 2 out of 4 of us are all fed up. Well, you and I play with fire, but don't say nothing. Oh, we're both busted. We'll get what's coming after you. Hey, hey. No, don't say nothing. Or bon voyage to rendezvous. Trade fights for better views. We both need something new. Maybe we should just tell them. You might recognize this picture frame as the one from Friends. I'm going to measure the inside of the frame and cut some cardboard inserts to put inside. I do end up doubling this up to make it a little bit thicker. I've lost the footage, but I did coat the front of this insert with a coat of Cashew by Waverly. I took the frame outside and coated it with a coat of Krylon Antique Gold spray paint. I also found a couple of metal pieces in our toolbox that I'm going to coat with the paint as well. Once it was dry, I brought it back inside and put the insert into the frame, and then I hot glued those hardware pieces to the front of it. I did decide to go ahead and paint the button black. Now, if only this little bell actually worked. My final inspiration today is from Anthropologie, and it's this floral frame for $38 to $42 depending on the size. I got this small frame from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove the hardware from the bottom. I then removed the backing and the glass and set them aside. I'm going to paint this frame with Fusion's all-in-one paint encasement. Once the paint had dried, I mixed together some Dollar Tree spackle and some Dollar Tree caulk. I'm going to spread that mixture just like icing over the frame. Not too thick, but not too thin, not too textured, but not too smooth. Now, to give the frame the texture with the lines like the inspiration piece, I'm going to be using this old comb, and I'm just going to lightly be dragging it through that mixture. I am careful to wipe the comb after each drag across the frame. And now we have those textured lines just like the inspiration piece. Now these are some bead buttons I guess they're beads, not buttons, from Hobby Lobby. And I'm just going to be picking out some of the flowers, deciding exactly where I want them, and I'm placing them on the frame. Once I have them like I want them, I'm taking some Titebond glue and I'm gluing them to the spackle. I am giving them a bit of a press when I place them back down onto the spackle so that they will sink down in there, and that glue will not only adhere to the spackle but also the frame. Once the spackle and the glue is dry, I'm going back with that same fusion paint and I'm just dabbing it all over the flowers to cover those colors. Once the paint dries, all that's left to do is add your favorite picture, and I chose a picture of my mother from her junior high school days. Recreation Inspiration is an open playlist hosted by Lowly D's Creations, Lady Red Crafting, and DIY with Aria as our guest host. Find their information and the playlist linked in the description box below. Here's another video I think you might like. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to share the chic. Bye now.